Are we in control? I mean, really, it's probably one of the biggest questions we've ever asked ourselves. And today, we're going to hunt for an answer, but maybe not where you'd expect. We're looking in the language of mathematics and physics.
All right, take a look at these. We've got two equations here, one from calculus, the other from the wild world of quantum physics. Now, I know they look a little intense, but stick with me. What if these aren't just symbols on a screen? What if this is something like a freedom formula, a hidden code that might just hold the key to understanding choice itself? So, yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? That's what this is all about. We're going to go on a little journey here, decode these symbols, and see if they can actually shed some light on what it means to have free will.
Okay, let's start with that first equation and tackle the biggest, heaviest word in this whole conversation, fate.
So, what is fate? Well, think of it like the entire movie of your life. Every single frame, right from your very first breath to your last, it's all laid out on this one enormous timeline. It's the ultimate bird's eye view, the whole shebang. And right away, you see the problem. If that whole story is already written out, where do we fit in? Where's the part where we actually do something? If you try to pinpoint a single choice on that massive timeline, it just kind of gets lost. It's too big. And this, right here, is where the calculus comes into play. That first equation tells us to do something pretty amazing. It tells us to use the idea of a limit like it's a cosmic microscope. We're going to zoom in on that timeline of fate, closer and closer, past the decades, past the years, the days. We just keep zooming in until we're looking at a slice of time so impossibly small, it basically has no duration at all. We are honing in on the absolute, razor's edge of the present, the now.
So what happens? What do we find when our cosmic microscope is cranked all the way down to that one single fleeting instant? Well, the equation actually gives us the answer.
In that one single point, that massive, overwhelming idea of fate totally transforms. It becomes agency. It becomes the power to act. What this formula is suggesting is that our freedom, our free will, it doesn't live out on the grand timeline of our lives. No, it's concentrated entirely and powerfully in the now. And this is the difference you see. Fate is the whole story, the past and the future. But agency? Agency is the pen in your hand right now. It's the very next word you're about to write. So this equation isn't saying fate doesn't exist. It's just showing us where our power is inside of it. Okay, but wait a minute. That leads to the big yeah, but, doesn't it? Even if our power is in the now, what if that now is just the result of everything that came before? Like a line of cosmic dominoes falling perfectly. Is it really a choice then? This is the classic problem of determinism. And to answer that, we have to go to our second equation. And this one comes from the very bedrock of physics. It reveals a deep, fundamental secret about how reality itself is put together. So let's look at this thing again. What it's basically saying is that the uncertainty in a particle's position, multiplied by the uncertainty in its momentum, can never, ever be zero. Now that might sound super abstract, but the idea behind it is what blows the whole puzzle of free will wide open. This, my friends, is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. And here's the absolute key. This isn't because our measuring tools aren't good enough. This is a core rule of the universe. It's built in. At the most fundamental level of reality, there's a trade-off. The more you know about where something is, the less you can possibly know about where it's going. Yeah, as Heisenberg himself said, the more precisely you nail down the position, the fuzzier the momentum gets. And what that really means is that perfect, complete knowledge of a particle's present and its future is impossible. Not just hard, impossible. Let's think about that a different way. It's like the universe, at its most basic level, is a little fuzzy. It just hasn't fully made up its mind about the exact state of everything. This completely shatters the idea that reality is just a bunch of perfect little billiard balls clicking into each other in a totally predictable way. It is so much stranger, and turns out, so much more open. So how does this all fit together? It's time to bring our two big clues to the table, the moment of agency we got from calculus and this fuzzy reality we get from quantum physics. So because the universe is fundamentally uncertain, the very next moment isn't some locked-in single destination. It's more like a cloud of possibilities, a whole range of potential outcomes. And that quantum indecisiveness, that fuzziness, is what creates the space, the wiggle room for more than one thing to happen next. It's the crack in the door of a deterministic universe. So here's how the logic stacks up. 1. The universe is built on a foundation of fundamental uncertainty. 2. In any single instant, this uncertainty doesn't give us one future, it gives us a whole spectrum of possible futures. And 3. Our agency, that power we found in the now, is the very act of navigating that cloud of possibilities and making one of them real.
And there you have it, the two formulas, finally working together. The calculus equation gives us the when of choice. It zooms us right into the present moment, the only place we can ever act. And then quantum mechanics comes in and gives us the how, a universe that is fundamentally open-ended in that exact same moment, offering us real, actual, different paths to take. Which leaves us with this final, kind of beautiful thought. Maybe we've been thinking about this whole thing the wrong way. Maybe free will isn't some epic battle against a destiny that's already written in stone. Maybe it's quieter than that. Maybe it's just this simple, profound act of choosing our next step through that quantum fog, literally creating the story of our lives, one uncertain, powerful, present moment at a time.